3 sex offenders live within 1 mile of Biola. We tell you where. Plus, a Biola grad considers running for president of the United States. And a rap artist filmed her music video on campus. We give you an inside look. All this and more right here on EagleVision News.
It's been a busy week full of sports here at Biola. Last week, both the volleyball and soccer teams were playing in
one of the most anticipated games of the basketball season.
And the hundreds, we found a house nearly everyone here plays their sports. I think
reporting from La Mirada, this has been Katie Owen.
This has been Miles Wright.
Jennifer Martin, Shannon Ikuda, EagleVision News, Biola.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Martin and you're watching EagleVision News. President Obama's health care reform bill passed through Congress. After initial approvals by the House and the President, the Senate approved the bill 56-43. Senate Republicans made 2 minor changes, including student loan funding, to be stripped from the bill. The House then reapproved the changes and sent the bill to be signed by President Obama for the last time.
On Tuesday, after a year of debate, a century of trying, after so many of you shared your stories and your heartaches and your hopes, that promise was finally fulfilled. And today, health insurance reform is the law of the land all across America.
Under the bill, all citizens are required by law to purchase health insurance. Those who do not will be fined monthly by the IRS. Also, young people can now remain on their parents' insurance until age 26, as long as they don't have jobs that offer insurance. Republicans in Washington are threatening to repeal the law in November. Obama responds by saying that the reforms will save the nation money in the long run. The murder of Chelsea King has caused the state of California to take sex offenders more seriously. The Department of Corrections destroyed the parole file of King's accused murderer, John Gardner III. Governor Schwarzenegger ordered the department to stop destroying records of sex offenders. King's community was greatly affected by her death.
Nobody's over it, like maybe at other schools, but just the fact that it happened on our campus to a girl who we loved, like and who was so involved and everything, like, I don't know.
Chelsea King's parents are now campaigning for a state bill called Chelsea's Law that would tighten restrictions on sex offenders. Predators like Gardner are listed on a website called Megan's Law. Here's a map of 3 sex offenders, all living within 1 mile of Biola's campus. Campus safety urges students to be careful when walking alone and to be aware of these men. To learn more about these registered sex offenders, visit meganslaw.ca.gov online. Multitasking behind the wheel might not seem like a big deal, but that isn't the case for one teenage driver who is now responsible for killing 2 people. Reporter Sarah Kim tells us more.
Police are investigating the possibility that a teenage driver was texting or talking on the phone when she crashed her SUV into another car, killing Jessica Zaret and Oliver Strokes. According to California highway traffic records, this year there were 6 fatalities and over 400 injuries as a result of car accidents in Simi Valley.
It's at the beginning of the semester that we see, reckless driving and speeding and running through stop signs on campus. As the semester progresses and, we're able to do some enforcement, that tends to go down a bit.
Do you ever text while driving?
I do sometimes, but it's because it's a big deal to my family. It's like the equivalent of a phone call, so I feel obligated, but I am nervous texting while driving. I feel like it's almost more distracting than phone calls.
Do you ever text while you're driving?
Not normally, unless it is an emergency, and only if I'm stopped at a stoplight.
We should all stop texting while we're driving. I also heard it's getting more popular with older people. So 35 and older, I heard on NPR is who is texting now more and more. So you younger people are going to have to set the tone for us and not text while you drive and keep us all safe on the road.
Because Biola is on a private property, campus safety cannot enforce students not to text while they're driving, but they encourage them not to do so for their safety. This is Sarah Kim, EagleVision News, Biola.
Elections are here, the campaigning has begun, and voting is just around the corner. Reporter Ryan McMahon gives us a look at the candidates for next year's AS President and Vice President.
Associated student campaigning kicked off this week with candidates giving speeches during chapel Monday morning. 2 teams are running for AS President and Vice President positions. for the 2010-2011 school year. Junior Dustin Arnold and running mate Cynthia Pimentel said they will improve AS through their combined leadership experience, including Dustin's 2 years as leader of SOS.
She has years of Senate experience, but I've a different type of experience, which is working more with administration. It was with the orientation program, so it was just a different ball game. So I think our two experiences kind of fill in the gaps.
Dustin and Cynthia stressed they will open communication lines by being available to hear students' ideas and questions. Presidential candidate Lizzie Neely participates in extracurricular activities including Say Yes Ministry, AS Senate, and Coalition for Social Action.
We want to help you make God known right here where you're at right now. Not when you've graduated, not when you've started your career, but right here at Biola.
Lizzie and John said they'll bring a lasting impact to Biola.
Right now, AS has a vision that changes every single year with each new administration. We want to set a lasting vision that will be constant and effective for years after we're gone.
Whether you vote for Dustin Arnold or Lindsay Neely, this is a great chance to make a difference in your Biola community. So go out and vote next week. This has been Ryan McMahon for EagleVision News.
You can vote Monday and Tuesday near the floor fountain. The winners will be announced Tuesday night at 10 p.m. One of Biola's most celebrated alumni is relatively unknown on campus. EagleVision's Miles Ray has more on this man of mystery.
My fellow Eagles, when we graduate from here, obviously we all want to go out and make our mark on the world. And surely we do. But one basketball-playing business major from the class of '83 has made a bigger mark than most. His name is John Thune. Never heard of him? Well, his day job is senator. United States Senator. Like in Washington, D.C. Political science professor Dr. Peters remembers having Senator Thune as a student. The senator came to Biola along with 4 of his siblings, including his older brother, Rich. They traveled from South Dakota, the state that Thune represents in the Senate.
We all were born and raised there, a small community of less than 1,000 people in a state with less than 1 million. So very rural, farming, ranching, and the tourism business is pretty big back there.
A Republican, Senator Thune served 3 terms in the House of Representatives before losing his first senatorial race in 2002. In 2004, Thune campaigned against then-Senate Minority Leader Tom Daschle. Thune's victory was so historic that it was chronicled in this book.
But if you look in the Biola library, that book is nowhere to be found. But is Senator Thune really that big of a deal? Well, political analysts are saying he's a current frontrunner for the 2012 Republican nomination for president.
There's been talk about him running in 2012, and one of the reasons he's being even considered for that, for the White House, is that he is very well liked, and he manages to endear himself to people and still hold his ground on his principles.
I think we're blessed to have a president who is an A student, and I think if we got John Thune for president, he would be an A student occupying the president's chair.
He could really compete with President Obama. They actually came into the Senate at the same time, so they're peers in that sense. And I would argue, yeah, he has a very strong case. I would also look at, again, his priorities really are with his family. And I think that's fantastic.
Whatever happens 2 years from now, today John Thune is focused on being a senator. Even if he gets made fun of on The Daily Show, Thune still has more admirers than detractors.
Well, I think we would all be terribly pleased that one of our graduates and former students, even in the department, was playing at the top tier of American politics, and I think that would demonstrate to all of us that the importance of being in a democracy and how far you can go if you apply yourself and you're in the Lord's will.
This has been Miles Ray for EagleVision.
Coming up, Let There Be Light, we give you a recap of this year's missions conference. Plus, a reality TV show starring the one and only Sarah Palin. And many don't have a problem with clubbing on the weekends, but should they? All this and more right here after the break. Stay tuned.